Hello everyone, this is Liz with Easy QuickBooks Training. Today we will be covering QuickBooks Desktop and the QuickBooks Online version. I will be covering 3 things to do in QuickBooks before year end. So let's get started. If you do the following 3 things and you complete these tasks, trust me, you will save yourself a big headache coming in January. So the first thing that we need to do before year end are review the 1099 information, vendor information. To do that in the desktop version, let's go to vendors, then print e-file 1099s, and let's go to review vendors. This will bring up a list of all the vendors that are eligible for 1099, and the important thing here is to see if they have the tax ID. If they don't, then we can request a W-9 from them. In the online version, if we go to reports and then type in the search box vendor contact list, it will bring a list of all the vendors. And then we can go to the gear icon, go to show more, and then check tax ID. This will bring up the tax ID column, and we can see who has their tax ID and who doesn't. Now, if we click on a vendor that needs a tax ID and we go to edit, this is where we can enter their tax ID. Right here, business ID. And then we check off track payments for 1099. In the desktop version, if we click on this, we go under tax settings, put in their tax ID, and then check off vendor eligible for 1099. So once you do this, you may also want to review their total payments to make sure that they have the correct amounts that will be on the 1099. So that's number 1. The second one is bank reconciliation. It's very important that you reconcile your bank account. And in order to see how far you have reconciled or where you're at, you can click on Banking Reconcile for the desktop version, and it'll bring up this box. As you can see, this doesn't say when the last bank reconciliation was. Usually it's up here and you can see. So we can pull up a report to see when was the last reconciliation as well. If we go to, let me close out of this. If we go to reports, then banking, previous reconciliation, it'll bring up a box like this. We select the account and it will tell us when the last reconciliation was. Now, since there's nothing there, then we have to start from January of 2018. So you want to make sure that you're reconciling your bank account on a monthly basis. It's very important to do that. Now, in the online version, let me close out of this. What we can do is go into, let's see, scoot this a little bit because I don't see the gear icon. Here we go. So we can go to the gear icon, reconcile the account, and then it will tell us when the last reconciliation was. We can choose, and if not, if we don't see it, then we can go to history by account. We can select the account we're trying to look at, and there's no reconciliation. Since this is a demo, there is nothing here, but if you had some kind of reconciliation, it would tell you what months this was reconciled. So once again, reconciling your bank account is very important. You want to do this on a monthly basis, but if you have not done so yet, you may want to start before year end to reconcile. The third task you want to do before year end is look at your financial reports. So if we go to reports and we go to accountant, no, I'm sorry, company and financial profit and loss. And we look at the profit and loss, and we want to say this year, this is also a demo company. So it has 2021, but we want to say this fiscal year, we want to look for any uncategorized transactions. Accountants, tax preparers don't like to see that. So we just want to make sure that everything is categorized in the correct category. If it's office supplies, we want to make sure everything in here belongs to office supplies. So we want to go through each account real quick and see if everything is categorized. And it may be a good idea to do this after you do a bank reconciliation. And you're up to date. Let's say an account or a transaction is not where it's supposed to be. You can always select it and then choose the right account where it goes. The same with the desktop, the online version. You want to go to reports, profit and loss, and you want to look for any unreconciled accounts, anything that looks out of place. You want to make sure, like this miscellaneous, you may want to click in there and see what it is. Maybe it needs to be categorized correctly. Also do this after you've reconciled. Now, after you've reconciled, just remember you do not want to delete any transactions because you have reconciled. Everything that was in the bank statement should be in here. So all you could do and should do is just change the account if something is out of place. Once you look at it, you can, this is an invoice. Let me go back to an expense here. So we can click on it, click on the bill or expense, and we can change the account. And it'll give you a warning saying it's been reconciled. It's okay as long as you don't delete it because you want to keep your reconciliation correct. So those are the 3 top things that you should be checking off before year end. And I hope that you find this useful. If you like this video, please give thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get more how-tos, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting for QuickBooks. I will see you on the next one.